Hey everyone, welcome back to the weekly astrology and pick a card reading. This is for the week ahead for the 7th of June through to the 13th of June 2021. We have yet another intense week this week with the astrology, and we are in eclipse season, so that is definitely part of the intensity. But we are also in the month where the Saturn-Uranus square becomes exact, so that is a very intense energy for this whole month. But once we get past June, the energy does start to we start to ease away from the Saturn-Uranus square, which is causing a lot of tension in the world in general. But let's look at more details around this week's astrology, and then I'll get to the pick a card part of the reading, and the timestamps will be below. If you'd like to book a reading with me, the link is below. If you would like to order some of my handmade gemstone jewelry, I make gemstone bracelets. The link is below, and there are other things for my social media and other stuff if you want to check that out as well. Thanks everyone for watching as well. I just want to say that, and I'm going to get into it. So this week the big thing is a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. This will be at 19 degrees of Gemini. So if you have anything around 19 degrees of Gemini in particular, well, this is going to be destined changes happening in your life. And when the eclipse energies are active, things can happen quite quickly and in a very destined kind of way. Gemini is about information. It is about thinking, communication, decisions as well, making decisions. Gemini is often that energy of what we're dealing with, this duality and kind of going back and forth in our minds with the Gemini energy. But with this, it can be like a decision point coming. Also, be aware that with solar eclipses, the energy does influence things just a few weeks leading up to the eclipse and then a few weeks after the eclipse, in a basic sense. They can extend longer, but just in a basic sense to keep it simple. So the decisions that you make around this time are actually going to be very pivotal for your life. And again, as I said, this is very pivotal for Gemini people that have anything around 19 degrees of Gemini. But obviously it affects everyone in a different way. Everyone has Gemini on one section of their chart somewhere. So if you know your astrology chart, do check to see where you have a 19 degrees of Gemini in your chart, what house it lands in, what aspects it makes in your chart, because that also will tell you some things. Now in the sky, the aspects that the solar eclipse is making is one, a square to Neptune, which can be an energy of coming out of a deception in a way. So for some people, in your personal world, it might be coming out of self-deception, coming out of an energy where you feel like you're not able to be authentic within your own life and, or with yourself and others. So for some people, it could be a relationship, or it could be a work situation, or it could be anything where you just feel that you're not able to express your truth or communicate in a way that's open. Also, it does trine with Saturn, this solar eclipse. So I do like that because that gives some help here. Saturn is a very practical energy. It gives us practical focus, and it is an energy of reality, dealing with reality. So I feel here with this, what I'm seeing here with this new moon solar eclipse is looking at your reality in a pragmatic way and looking at what you can make changes towards that are opening up your path in a positive way and allowing you to express and communicate and be more clear, coming out of some kind of lack of clarity because of that square of Neptune, coming out of some self-deception. On a global level, this square of Neptune with the solar eclipse can mean deceptions being revealed, so things going on in the world. And also Gemini rules the media, information that comes out through the media, through social media, through media channels. With that square of Neptune, it is indicating that there will be some kind of revealing of truth, some kind of veil kind of coming off of illusions or deceptions that are in terms of information that comes out to the public. So there's that as well. And trining with Saturn is very positive. So even though Saturn can be a difficult energy, it is a trine aspect, which yes, it's helpful, but there also is, even when there's trines with Saturn, there can be a difficult element. So perhaps it can be a difficulty of seeing what the truth actually is, and that can be difficult sometimes when we've been in the dark about things and we suddenly have the light shone on the truth, and it's like, whoa, I didn't know this was going on. And it's kind of like that kind of energy that we're dealing with this week and coming in for the next few weeks. So the date of the new moon solar eclipse is June 10th, as I said. So that's the key date when the energy is the strongest, and it happens on that date. But factor in the next few weeks as well. Other news from Wednesday, that Mercury retrograde, even though we've got Mercury retrograde still going for a couple of weeks plus, it will start to ease off from that square of Neptune on Wednesday this week. So that is good news, because that square from Neptune that we've been having with the Mercury retrograde has been causing all sorts of confusion, problems with technology, things not working properly, miscommunications. I know I've had a few things like that, where just like one little error and then it's like, oh gosh, I wish I paid attention, or I wasn't trying to go so quickly. Problems with technology, you know, things glitching as well, and things not making sense, like why is this suddenly not working when it's been fine, just out of the blue. So I think from Wednesday onwards we'll see like a bit of a easing up of confusion in communication, lack of clarity, and problems with technology. It is still Mercury retrograde, so we still have some issues like that to deal with, but it won't be as absolutely frustrating that it's been the last few days. So yeah, from Wednesday things get better with that. Now what I love this week is Mars, the planet of action, assertion, sexuality, independence, passion, is going into Leo. Now it's been in Cancer, where it hasn't been too happy. Mars is not really happy in Cancer. It's in its fall position, and it moves into Leo, which is much more exuberant, expressive, creative, and much more sort of positive, sassy, kind of fun energy, and wanting to enjoy and get out there and kind of do life a bit more, rather than feeling like we've just had this Mars in Cancer energy, which is kind of, you know, it's very self-protective, it's very cautious and fearful and scared of things, you know. So we're going into, you know, that Leo fire energy. So Mars is a fire planet, a fiery planet, rules Aries. It goes very well and very nicely in Leo. That starts June 12th, this weekend. Fantastic. Great energy for Leos, great energy for all the fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius. You'll find more pickup, more energy. And yeah, just in general, it's going to be a much more productive, organizational, and forward movement kind of energy. And also with Mars in Leo, you'll find that you may feel like you want to be more creative as well, and more action orientated in a fun and expressive way. All right, so the other stuff going on this week, Thursday to Sunday, we have the Sun in Gemini conjunct with Mercury retrograde in Gemini. So from Thursday to Sunday, there could be very important information that comes out. Again, I'm speaking more on a collective level. On a personal level, though, there could be very important conversations had between Thursday and Sunday, very deep conversations. Even though Gemini, you know, not typically a deep sign, but because Sun and Mercury conjunct with a Mercury retrograde, some kind of important information is being exchanged. Either, you know, for some people in their personal life, or for others it's realizations, focus on a lot of important communications and thinking. That kind of energy is very strong this week. The mind is very, very activated when Sun and Mercury are conjunct, especially in Gemini. So that the mind is going to be very activated for just in general for everyone, and especially if you're an air sign, between Thursday and Sunday this week. So if you're prone to overthinking, you might find that energy a bit much. But if you can focus it on making plans for your life, or writing down goals and journaling, stuff like that, you'll find it quite good, coming up with ideas for, you know, future projects, things that you want to do. And let's see what else. The last thing that I saw was on Sunday, Sun in Gemini will be square Neptune. So this is going to affect more so people that have anything around 22 to 24 degrees of Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo and Pisces. Okay, so those signs will be most affected, but in general this energy is a little bit of a slowdown energy. On Sunday you can feel a little bit more tired. You need to look after your immune system, your health, your well-being. It's not an energy to push yourself, let's just say that. With Sun square Neptune, it's not an energy to push yourself. It's an energy to slow down, to go within, to kind of not push your ego too much to the forefront. It's more spiritual energy, self-reflective, inward. Can be a bit of a confusing energy as well, but yeah, I'll just say for Sunday the energy is more of a quiet energy. It's more self-reflective, and maybe some stuff coming up from the past for some people. You may find on the Sunday some thoughts of the past, or some thoughts of things in your life that you struggle with in some way, you know, on an internal level. It's a good time to journal your thoughts, to do prayer work, to do spiritual work, candle work, whatever you do, crystal grids, you know, whatever you're into that's kind of got a spiritual energy, to bring some more alignment to yourself, because you can feel a little bit discombobulated with that energy on Sunday. So I'll just say that. And as I said, it affects the mutable signs the most, that are born later on in those signs. So later born Geminis, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. All right, guys, so I'm going to get to the cards now. So let's look at the elements. So I'm going to start with the air signs this week, okay, since we have the new moon solar eclipse in an air sign in Gemini. So this will be for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and I'm using 2 different decks this week. I've got the Gaian Tarot here and the, what is it? This one's the Zodiac reading cards. And, of course, the Astrology, which I like to use as well. So let's get into it. So this is going to be for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What are your messages for this week? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So let's come out back here. The Hanged Man, which is called the tree in the Gaian Tarot. Interesting. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, you guys may have been feeling a little bit stuck. I think this message has come out quite a lot for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius recently. It's a very spiritual time. It's a time of having to get a different perspective on your life. Look at this. You have Leo. I just saw Leo. Eclipse. It mentions the eclipse. How interesting. Wow. And it's actually the solar eclipse. How about that on the card? That's very spooky. So the air signs have got the depiction of the solar eclipse, which is in the sign of Gemini this week, though it talks about Leo. So what I'm getting here for the air signs is there's something about love or creativity. So depending on who you are and what's going on in your life, as you know, these are general readings. So let's focus on the love energy for a second, because I want to get 2 different messages out. So, and then I'm going to do the Astro Dice at the end. So, okay. For Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, the love relationship energy is like you need to get a different perspective or look at things in a different way in terms of what's going on with regards to someone in your life that you have feelings for, someone that you're in a relationship with. And you may feel that the situation is on hold in some way because of, you know, the Hangman is an energy of having to wait for divine timing, okay? So it can definitely be a frustrating energy because you feel like you're in waiting, or you're waiting for something to reveal itself, or you're waiting for an answer, waiting for a decision, to make a decision yourself or for someone else to make a decision. And Leo is about the heart. It's about love. And it does say, shine brightly like the star that you are. So this card here is often associated with sacrifice. So there may be an element of feeling like, with regards to a person in your life, that you have to be self-sacrificing. And it's just so interesting because I just read something this week and I feel like the need to share it. If I can remember it exactly, it was something like when we're called to sacrifice something in our lives to grow, it's not always comfortable. And so there's something here about growth not always being comfortable, but yet it's a process that you need to go through. And something else is coming to mind, you know, where you often hear people say, oh, and this might be a bit controversial in some way, but you often hear people say love shouldn't be painful. Love doesn't have pain in it. But I find that is a little bit of an unrealistic type of attitude or statement, and I don't know why, but I want to say this to you because the message of sacrifice is coming. Now, I'm not saying you should put up with a situation, you know, that's painful, that just goes on and on and on. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is we all, as humans, experience pain in some way, okay? It's not possible to avoid in the human life, especially for those souls that come into this world that have a very deep learning curve spiritually, that, you know, you've chosen to come here to learn very deep and have very authentic experiences. You know, there might be some souls that do come here, I believe, that kind of come here to have more of a light experience, and they may have less difficulties than other souls. But there are souls that come here for really deep stuff, and it can sometimes involve pain. And if you've ever loved anyone, just even in the feeling of loving them, just facing that feeling involves facing the fear of loss. So that in itself is painful. So I'm not saying, you know, someone should inflict pain on you and that you should just put up with it. That's so far from what I'm saying. It's a deeper spiritual thing that I'm saying. So I don't want people to think the wrong thing. But what I'm trying to get at is there might be something to do with sacrifice in terms of your own ego, where it's like, it's not the relationship, and this might only be for a few people, okay? So just take what feels right for you. But a relationship that you're connected to has an element of sacrifice involved in it, and it doesn't mean that you put up with a situation ongoing that's frustrating you to no end, but it does feel that there's something to do with compassion in the message that I'm getting here, okay? So you're learning compassion, you're sharing compassion, you're giving a soul that's going through a difficult time compassion, being more compassionate despite feeling pain in a relationship. Things like that, okay? So again, I'm not saying that you should put up with a situation that's abusive or anything like that, okay? So don't think that, okay? So hopefully what was channeled through me right then made sense, and that was a longer message than I usually do. The other message for other air signs is about creativity. It's about getting a different perspective on your creativity, on the angle that you're taking with some projects that you're working on, or something that you want to do that's creative, that's to do with a more spiritual aspect of life, a more heart-centered aspect for yourself. Let's get the Astro Dice going. I've got to hurry up here because I'm going to run out of time. We have the moon, which is about emotion. And look at this, Pisces energy. Now, Neptune is this card, and that rules Pisces. So once again, we have this energy of compassion. You know, people that have, say, for example, a Pisces moon, they're very compassionate, generally speaking. They are helpers. They help people going through, you know, difficult energies a lot of the time. That's a higher vibration of moon in Pisces. But again, it's just this energy of tapping into your compassion, your spiritual side, seeing things from a different perspective. And look at this, 7, which is about spiritual lessons. That says it all, really. If, again, this is to do with, for some people, creativity, the moon in Pisces talks about music, art, photography, film, and, you know, like something like putting together videos or things that have a creative element. And 7 is about following your inner spiritual guidance. So, wow, really deep message for the air signs this week. Pretty unexpected. Okay, so let's go fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sag. What are the messages for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius this week? Oh, jumping card. Okay. So you do have the 3 of air, and you did have this one jump out, which I wouldn't normally get the second card, but it did jump out. So you have the Teacher. All right, which is the Hierophant, and the 3 of Swords is a bit of a difficult card emotionally. So you may feel a little bit of a feeling of emotional pain through something that is a soul experience, a soul lesson, but your spirit guides are working very closely with you. Someone has a connection to either wolf totem or dog / fox / wolf totem, so it might be just for a couple, 1 or 2 people there. So you're learning something this week, but it might be something that comes from pain. And to be honest, you know, for a 3 of Swords card, that is one of the mildest 3 of Swords card. If you know tarot, you know that the 3 of Swords is a pretty brutal looking card with the 3 swords piercing the heart. The 3 swords here are like the pencils from in the tin. So what I want to say about that is your emotional struggles are actually leading you to develop a deeper spiritual authenticity within yourself, which is grounding you, and it's giving you a basis of a lot of strength in your life. Okay, so that's really powerful, and something happening this week may be pivotal for you in regards to that, especially for Sagittarius, because the solar eclipse is in your opposite sign of Gemini. Just have to add that in. So let's see what your astrology card is for the fire signs. Something at the back here is, I'm feeling it. Leo. Okay, so we are doing the fire signs, and Leo comes up. Funny, because the air signs also had Leo, so something about heart chakra activation or listening to your heart. We have heroism here, which very much makes me think of Mars in Leo. So I think, you know, even though there might be something painful for some of the fire signs on some level, you know, it might be healing something from the past. It might not be that something painful actually happens this week. It might just be that you're processing some things from your past, from your life, you know, that help you to tap into this passion. And it says, let your inner hero out. Very much got Mars in Leo energy, this card. Talking about heroism, which is very much a Martian, Mars energy. And it looks like the red planet, even though it's got the moon, but it's red energy like Mars. So, and it's an 8 here, 1 and 7, 8, transformation. So looks like the message for the fire signs this week is about transforming and transmuting to a higher frequency, something difficult that, you know, comes up, that gets triggered this week, or that you're thinking about, or even some people may be writing about. But this is a very positive card for you guys. So I would say ultimately it's for the better, whatever's going on. I've got to get the fire signs, the Astro Dice now. 9th house of spirituality, wisdom, which is a Sagittarius house. Venus could be dealing with females from foreign places, and also because Venus with Libra here could be a love interest from someone who's from a different, you know, different country to yourself, or from someone at a distance from you. Could be also learning something new that has some spiritual aspect to it. Venus in Libra is also about appreciating beauty in your life as well, to uplift your soul this week, fire sign. So that's another message. All right, let's go to the water signs. So Cancer, Pisces, oh, jumping cards. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. 2 cards wanted to come out, so I have to get them. Child of the Earth, which is the Page of Pentacles, and the 3 of Fire, which is the 3 of Wands. All right, let's see what else goes with this. For the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This one. Moon in Virgo. So work comes up this week as well for the water signs. Okay, so there's a lot of energy here. I need to get the Astro Dice involved because I can get the full picture. Capricorn, 10th house. Work came up here. Mercury. Wow, how interesting. So Capricorn in the 10th house coming up. Comes up here very strongly to do with work and ambition. Okay, so there's a big message for the water signs about goals, about planning, and Mercury coming up here is about thinking about your long-term goals, which is very much Capricorn 10th house energy, writing about your long-term goals, waiting to see, you know, what's coming to fruition for you financially in your work situation with your plans. And, you know, work comes up so many times here with the dice and with the cards. So there could be some opportunity in work for water signs, in a new job, in advancing yourself financially, materially, waiting for some kind of news to progress yourself. Child of Earth is also earthy energy, which comes up here in the Astro Dice. The 3 of Fire is obviously fire element, which is about passion, ambition, and planning your future. But the Child of Earth here is quite a strong energy. So some people may have a young child, or it can actually indicate that you are wanting to implement some practical changes with regards to your work or your career that are going to help you progress and bring more things to fruition. Nice message for the water signs. Love that. All right. Okay, let's go to lastly the earth signs. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What's coming up this week for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? I'm going to pull 2 cards since I think 2 came out the most. Oh, wow. Earthy energies, and we have 2 earth cards. Don't you love that, guys? The 9 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles in this deck, the 9 of Earth and the Ace of Earth. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Abundance is around the earth signs this week. I'm an earth sign, so that looks nice. The Ace of Earth is the beginning of something new, a new project or extra abundance coming in. This is a very abundant energy as well. So you might be, I'm getting the word entrepreneur, and I'm also getting the word embarking. So embarking on something new, that could be a business for some people. If that's not related to your personal situation, for others, it could be that you have a new idea about how you are going to manifest more material resources, material abundance in your life. Okay, so earth signs, Capricorn, look at this. All the earth energy really came out. Capricorn comes up. So new direction. See, I was just saying that, so you can't make this stuff up. I love it. So the cards are very strong here for the earth signs about a new direction, financially, materially, career-wise. You know, it could be just something opening up, like an avenue opening up that is based on what you're already doing for some people, but it's like something new in some way that's sparked. For others, it looks like a brand new beginning. Let's see what the Astro Dice show for the earth signs. We have Gemini, we have the 11th house, and we have Venus. Wow. So women, communication with women and helpful women come up, and we do have a female here with the Venus energy. And Gemini relates to the eclipse. So if you know your chart and you're an earth sign, check where that eclipse is, what house and what aspects it makes if you know your astrology for this week, because it looks like the eclipse is having some positive influence for you. And for Taurus, the eclipse is actually in your 2nd house of finances, in particular for Taurus. I just realized that. So there might be, you know, for Taurus, also, I mean, for all the earth signs, there's obviously abundance coming in, but I just thought of that. The 11th house is about groups and like-minded souls, wish fulfillment. And Venus with the 11th house feels quite lucky for me for this week for the earth signs. So that's a really good message. And that's it, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic week, and I'll talk to you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.